Welcome to Cops Uncut, the show that puts you in the driving seat of America's fight against crime. And gets you up close and personal with the mad, bad and dangerous to know that roam America's highways. Coming up on Cops Uncut, a daredevil motorist crosses the tracks to evade his tracker. Two idiots are branded with the tyre tracks of their own getaway vehicle. And a pursuing police car is stopped dead in its tracks by a killer on the run.
He just ran into another vehicle here, head on.
Dallas, Texas. Police are in the middle of the theatrical event of the year, a feature-length chase which will last 1.5 hours, touring 3 cities before the credits finally roll. When a driver is as determined to get away as this guy, the police require incredible skill and focus to stay on his tail, not to mention ladders of concrete, because there'll be no comfort breaks on this job. Some of the moves he makes are incredibly dangerous. The police almost lose him time and time again. Any small miscalculation and they could easily find themselves at the centre of a major traffic accident. Driving like this on the highway is bad enough, but he takes an exit ramp and heads downtown into a lot more traffic. It's rush hour, and this criminal is out to prove it. But although he's clearly one to court danger, even he realises this is far too precarious and heads back to the highway. The police try to close in on him, but he has time to kill and doesn't think twice of turning his car into oncoming traffic. Which is probably the first time Dallas commuters are happy to find themselves stuck behind a red light. Another option for the police is to use their car to force his car off the road. But at these speeds and with this many vehicles on the highway, too many things could go wrong.
Head back quick. On the service road.
By now, this chase has been going on for nearly an hour, so we can safely add wasting police time to his charge sheet as well. Despite everything, the troopers are still on his tail and starting to get the upper hand. He only just manages to avoid a stinger, which would have shredded his tyres and thrown him off the road. But the police are showing no signs of giving up. Officers think they have him when he suddenly loses control and veers off the freeway.
He wrecked out.
But even though his vehicle flipped head over heels, or rather bonnet over boot, shattering the back windshield,
Negative. He get back on the freeway. He's back on the freeway. Back on the freeway.
it's still not enough to stop this guy, and he pushes on undeterred.
He's back on.
With his car a wreck, he becomes desperate.
He's turning back. He's turning back. He's making a U-turn back.
And starts to take risks that the police aren't prepared to. Like blasting through this level crossing moments before the train passes by.
Let's do the take.
Which is the first time this officer is glad he missed the train. Incredibly, even with the fugitive's head start, this daredevil trooper manages to catch up to him. Must be the promise of overtime that spurred him on. 90 minutes into this chase, and this week's paycheck is looking better and better. Just as our officer makes visual contact with his quarry, the quarry runs out of luck.
He wrecked out. He wrecked out.
and makes physical contact with a pickup.
Get out the way! Get the fuck out the way! Damn!
Running down the clock, this driver managed to keep the police off his tail for an impressive 1.5 hours. But in the end, his undoing was a poor sense of timing.
He wrecked out. He wrecked out. Get out the way! Get the fuck out the way! Damn!
He suffered serious injuries. Not all chases happen at breakneck speed. Welcome to the slowest chase in America.
Show your hands now!
Police in Arkansas have just surrounded the guy driving this blue Ford Taurus, and it's pretty obvious he has nowhere to go.
Out of the car now!
He's on the run after beating his hopefully ex-girlfriend with a pistol.
Put your hands on the roof!
And this hard man is too afraid to just get out, give up, and take what's coming to him.
Let me see your hands now!
He clearly thinks that if he dances around the police centimetres at a time for long enough, an opportunity will present itself to fly.
Let me get the car! Let me get the car!
But the police get tired of the chicken dance and clip his wings. Or in this case, his tyres.
He just got around him.
But just as they think they've caught their prey, he squeezes past and they're left behind with ruffled feathers. But with 3 tyres punctured, the tough guy come woman beater leads the cops on the slowest chase in history. Braving some heart-stopping hairpin bends, some rugged outdoor terrain, and a flat, straight road on which, inexplicably, he seems to have the most trouble driving.
Watch it, don't rush it, don't rush it.
It's unclear why these officers didn't just put their cars in park and pursue him on foot.
Turn around and go back west, go back west.
Over half an hour and possibly 3 miles later, this death-defying chase is brought to a timely conclusion. Police usually use this maneuver to slow people down. Not for this guy. The nudge actually gives him a boost. But after being knocked off the road, this suspect is still going nowhere fast. And the police had to use a taser to get him out of the car. It was the quickest anyone had seen him move all day. It's important to alert other road users to hazards ahead. And as we all know, the universal sign for "the roads are wet and icy, there's been an accident, please slow down" is to flap your arms around wildly. Which is exactly what these first responders in Empire, Ohio are doing. But when an 18-wheeler tries to slow down, it ends up fishtailing and just misses the police cruiser recording this video. Not to mention the first responders who had to leap out of its way and moments later gave the truck driver another universally recognised hand gesture. Next up is a classic lesson in being careful what you wish for. Police in Pelham, New Hampshire are in pursuit of a drunk driver. This guy is being so reckless with his own life and the lives of other road users that he's already lost a wheel by the time the cops catch up to him. By the look of things, he's also lost the wheel he should be steering with. Trailing sparks, he comes to a stop of his own accord. But far from submitting to the dignified arrest police hope to make, this guy has other plans. he spreads his arms wide and invites them to shoot him. He sure has one strange bucket list. Well, they do say it never hurts to ask. Fortunately for him, this is the land of opportunity, so the cops are only too happy to fulfill his request. With a taser, of course. What else could they have done? Refusing would have only hurt his feelings, and he deserved a bit more than that. The lesson is, if being shot is on your wish list, make sure it's the last item. At least he made it safely out of his car. These suspects from Atlanta, Georgia, didn't even make it that far. It takes real desperation and courage to leap from a moving vehicle. But that's not what's on display here, just complete stupidity. Noticing the approaching cops, the driver and passenger of this El Camino both try to disembark, only to run themselves over with their own getaway car. And we know for a fact this was their getaway car, because as they were bailing out, police heard them yelling, "Getaway car! Get away!" Some criminals have a death wish, but for police, the chase is as much about preventing innocent bystanders from being injured or killed as it is about apprehending their suspect. When someone has little regard for human life, keeping everyone out of harm's way can become impossible.
310, the subject's supposed to be armed and dangerous.
This suspect from Fort Worth, Texas, is wanted for murder.
Did y'all get those extra 2 units in the pursuit?
And police have committed all their resources to catching him, including a helicopter.
Yeah, well, we're with them.
It's clear this guy doesn't care about putting other people's lives in danger. He doesn't even care about his own.
Okay, he's going down a dead end.
Spikes are authorized. We've got them.
Taking a U-turn just before running into the stinger police laid out for him, he returns the way he came.
Okay, doing a U-turn on the freeway. Y'all watch out.
Straight into oncoming traffic.
There's plenty of units if you want to light them up.
This looked like an attempt to evade the chasing police, but this madman has decided on a different course of action. He locks onto one of the police vehicles that was on his tail.
Start mid-start. He just ran into another vehicle here.
And slams into the unfortunate officer head-on.
It's going to be one of our units he hit head-on.
The police officer was seriously injured.
Shut the freeway down. Car's on fire. Getting mid-start here.
Which car's on fire?
Our unit.
The reckless driver was apprehended and faced charges of kidnap and murder. Welcome to the dusty backroads of Georgia, where tarmac is still a pipe dream. A suspect in a minivan is trying to outrun the police. At least cops think it's a minivan. It could be a helicopter taking off. The dust is certainly helping the suspect more than the cops, who almost lose sight of him. But the dust trail is the big clue to the fugitive's whereabouts, and a dusty road is a potentially slippy road. The cops just need to get closer and closer, till eventually they knock him off the road and apprehend him before the dust has time to settle. He tried to brake and throw the cops off his back. Instead, he's face down in the dirt, soon to be gathering dust in the local penitentiary. This driver from Tennessee has a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. Slow down, says the angel. Speed up, says the devil. Slow down, begs the angel, giving the devil an evil eye. Don't listen to that killjoy, screams the devil, giving the angel a black eye. And off they go again. By the time the driver does decide to comply with the law, his coupled conscience is having a fist fight in the passenger seat, and he's on his own. But as the cop starts to search him, the devil leaps back onto his shoulder and tells him to get the hell out of there. His plan of throwing cocaine out of his pockets as he runs away hardly helps his cause, but it does help explain his hallucinations. When he is recaptured, his pockets are still full of drugs and he faces a trafficking charge. At least we know he won't get too lonely in solitary confinement. Suspects on drugs are much more dangerous to officers than suspects dealing drugs. Police in Somerville, South Carolina, have just pulled over a suspected robber who allegedly punched a store employee in the mouth after trying to steal a computer. When this policeman approaches his Jeep, he's high on coke and in no mood to be taken to jail.
Stay in the car. Get in the car.
Has no one told him that's where all the good drugs are?
Put your hands right the back. What? Do it now. What? Do it now. I ain't do anything, man. I ain't do anything, dog. What you doing?
He squares up to the patrolman and forces him to use his taser. But this cokehead feels as strong as a bear, and the taser is no more inconvenient than a bee sting. Even the arrival of a swarm of cops and another stinging can't slow him down. This bear just pushes on and steals the honey. Or in this case, the patrolman's car. He pulls the taser barbs right out of his torn flesh and drives off at speeds that soon exceed 100 miles an hour. He's just taken on a unit of cops and their backup, been hit by two 50,000-volt blasts from a taser, and he's up one cop car. He's invincible. Unsurpassable. What could possibly stop him? A truck turning left can stop him. A truck turning left can stop him quite easily. Now that's a bear with a very sore head.
I will get on the ground.
Talking of angry drivers, keep your eye on the white van on the left of the screen. This guy from Tualatin, Oregon tried to fill his own tank, but this station isn't self-service, so he's asked to wait, which he does, in the gas station. Can of Coke, sir? A magazine, perhaps? Or just some crisps? Apparently, he'd tried and failed to chat up a female driver a few minutes prior to this meltdown. Now the guy's made it big on TV, she probably wishes she'd said yes. Police in Cairo, Georgia, suspect that they are following a dope dealer. They hit their sirens, which is a polite way of telling him to stop. But when he refuses, they give chase. And when he starts throwing things out of the car,
He threw something I couldn't see him, but it hit the car.
police in Cairo, Georgia, are pretty certain that they're following a dope dealer. In his bid to escape, he hits the dirt roads, throwing up a dust cloud that obscures the vision of the pursuing cops. He could throw up a bigger cloud by smoking all the wacky-backy in his possession. As he makes it back onto the concrete, this guy tries throwing the remaining stash of marijuana out of his window.
Okay, he threw out a large quantity of marijuana just past the bridge. It looked like dime bags.
The herb hit the curb, and police in Cairo, Georgia now know they are definitely following a major dope dealer. With other road users having to swerve to avoid him, the pursuing troopers make the decision to take him off the road. It's a tough manoeuvre. They need to get close enough to the speeding car, but they have to watch out for other drivers. A miscalculation and innocent people could easily get killed. Finally, they get close enough. A gentle tap and his car goes spliffy. And it's an unscheduled trip into the woods for our dope dealer, who finds himself knee-deep in all the grass he could possibly want. Seattle, Washington, an uneventful bus journey for these commuters. Until a shocking, unprovoked attack. The victim was blind. The attacker was merciless, but the other commuters leapt to her rescue. It took 6 brave bystanders to restrain this guy, and all 6 were later awarded medals for bravery. The victim was shaken by the attack, but touched by the valiant defense from the strangers on the bus. The attacker was sent to a state hospital due to diminished mental capacity. Finally, proof that police in Maryland are no respecters of rank. The car in front doesn't have proper license plates.
He's got to get his registration.
That's because it's the Batmobile. Holy smokes, it's the Cape Crusader himself, on his way to a personal appearance at the local university. Not a junior school, mind, but a university. After rummaging around for his civilian license, he's sent on his way.
All right, hold on, I got to get my camera up.
Police were sworn to keep his true identity a secret. So, what have we learned today on Cops Uncut? Cocaine may give you an instant high, but it's inevitably followed by a crash. Be careful what you wish for, especially if it hurts like 50,000 volts of electricity in the arm. And the world's worst transformer is the car that morphs into a truck stop.
Right down, he right down.